Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Pitchy Podcast. We are your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we're always passionate about a great vocal and a wonderful performance. We'll always use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to talk about the performances. Well, we've come down to it.
Yes.
I know the anticipating crowds have been waiting. I wish we got cue crowd track. Have been waiting for Stephanie and James, aka the Pitchy Podcast, 5 through number 1 of the playoff rounds. Another special episode where we look back on the previous season 23 of The Voice, and we bring you our best of each round. And this was the hardest one, you all. This was the one that Stephanie, I'll never forget this, Stephanie. Gosh, was it last week or even the week before where you started listening, and I think you had sent me a voice memo because it was too long to type. That's what Stephanie does when it's too long to type. She knows I'm working or she's working or whatever. She'll send me a voice memo, like she'll be in the car and she'll have some thoughts. And she said, James, I'll never forget this, Stephanie. She said, James, I just want you to know I am having a ball making this list.
Yes.
Such a wonderful time, but I don't know what I'm going to choose. There's too many. Stephanie and I thought we were originally going to have a top 5 list, but we couldn't. We absolutely could not.
Couldn't do it.
So today we're going to give you each one more honorable mention, and then we're going to count it down 5 through our number 1 picks for the playoff round of this past season of The Voice.
Yes.
So, Stephanie, since I started last time, I'm going to have you start with your next honorable mention.
Okay. My first and last honorable mention is one of your honorable mentions. It is Miss Holly Brand.
Yes.
Much for the same reasons as what you said in the previous episode, I will reiterate, I did not love the song choice for her. I feel like her voice is better than this song. But as Miss Holly Brand always does, and let me remind you, the song is Bring On the Rain by Jody Messina. I just felt like her voice is better than this song, but she delivered like she always delivers. Like she's always spot on, and she always gives her all in every performance, vocally and physically. She communicated the song. That Eye of the Tiger was still there, and all of the things that
on the command of that voice.
Always in command of her voice, and again, just showing us as much as she could show us as far as what she can do vocally is what she did in this song. So even though, again, I did not love the song choice, the performance was wonderful. The vocal was undeniable. So her name had to come out of my mouth for this playoff.
I said on the previous episode, I said that speaks to Holly's just how incredible of an artist she was. We're like, okay, this wasn't by any means our favorite performer of Holly's, but she had to go on our list because she's that darn good.
That's right. That's right.
So my final honorable mention is our season 23 winner, Miss Gina Miles, Wicked Games, Chris Isaac. Close your mouth, Stephanie. Yes. Gina, and I chose this because this is when I really started to take notice of Gina. And I said, oh, shizzle. I didn't say shizzle. I used the bad word.
You used the word.
Oh, shizzle. Gina could really win this thing because she took, I believe this is a early 90s song, yes.
Chris Isaac.
This was like his huge hit.
Yes.
She deconstructed it, number 1.
Yes.
The arrangement, I was like, what is this song? I was like, I know Chris Isaac's Wicked Games. I know this song because it was a song of my youth, of my childhood.
Yes.
And, but it was haunting. But the thing that sold me, and I had to have Gina on my list, was that note towards the end of the song that Gina held out. And it seemed like, and the proper musical term is the diminuendo in her voice, and that is the dynamic change in her voice from the more pronounced sound to a softer sound.
Yeah.
It sounded like, that note sounds like it's still going. It truly sounded like it went forever.
Because she didn't just stop it, James. It trailed. For as long as she sang that note, she sang it and then it just trailed. The breath control of it all.
It was a decrescendo to a crescendo. She stayed in and then she diminuendoed off, and it was just so bananas. It was so skillful. And I said, I got to remind myself, here's another teenager singing her face off.
Her whole face.
I love the arrangement of this song. I was like, ooh, Chris Isaak really needs to take note. Like, he needs to re-record this and do this version.
Yes.
I frankly like this version as much as I like the original version. Maybe
like
even
better.
Because this version was just, it was like she was doing a Tiny Desk or an Unplugged or something of that nature. And I said, oh, this young lady came to win this competition because she just gave one of the strongest performances of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Foreshadowing who was our season 23 winner, Miss Gina Miles.
Absolutely.
That was it. That's everybody started taking notice.
Yes.
So watch out for this dark horse. She could take it all, and she sure did. Absolutely. So that's my last honorable mention. I love your reaction, Stephanie. That was awesome. Awesome.
You'll see why.
Okay. All right, Stephanie. Take us to number 5.
Okay. My number 5 was Sorella. Something's Got a Hold of Me by Etta James.
Yes.
Now, It is really interesting because in our last recap episode of the Knockouts, I made a comment that their performance of Blame It on the Boogie should have been one that if they were sending the best performance to a record label or something, that's the one that they should have sent.
Mm-hmm.
I rescind that. This is the one that they should send.
And it is Blame It on the Boogie should have been their B-side.
Absolutely. And it's for why you said in the previous episode, James, is because this was the one where we got to hear every last sister sing individually a lot. And we had Baby Bella, we had Miss Anna with the lows, and then we had Miss Maddie. Now, Maddie was the one that stepped out at the beginning of the song. They all do like an individual piece, right? Miss Maddie was the one that she said, let me tell you that something like that. Yep. And Kelly was like, okay. Well, all right.
Okay goes, okay.
Yes, and that's what I said too, because I feel like that was the first time that she really got to shine. Right. And so I was done from the beginning before the song, like before the beat dropped. I was like, yo, this is going to be hot. So the acapella start, the band break-ins and chances in his seat, like doing the percussion with it and the lights of it all. Yeah.
That arrangement.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The arrangement of it was incredible. And the fact that there were so many times, this is why their stuff is so intricate and why they are so incredible, is because at any given time, any one of these sisters is singing and the other two are doing melody or doing a melody and a harmony in the background. Correct. So they have to remember all of these moving pieces in this one performance, and they do it so seamlessly. Like there's never even a look. Because I know, James, even when we're singing on the worship team, like I know that I'm not singing anything other than the BGVs in the background, basically, but I'm still looking down and making sure other people are kind of doing what they're supposed to do. those sisters never really do that other than to kind of like connect with each other, because they all know everybody's going to be on point and everybody is going to be doing what they're supposed to do. So the amount of trust that you have to have in order to make a performance like this go off without a hitch is absolutely phenomenal to me. They all showed range. And it was interesting because in this particular song, I can remember Anna is usually the one that does the lows. But
Right.
in this song, one of the other sisters did
Correct.
a really low part. So I'm like, yo, they can literally do and sing anything. And it, again, just so seamless, so spot on. One of their best performances of the entire show, of their entire reign of the show. It was absolutely incredible.
And only because Sorella, we talked to Sorella back and forth a lot in DMs and things like that over the season, and Sorella said, thank you for noticing, like, because we literally, and I'm gonna go off topic for a second, but this is very important to note that every one of these singers, we see the finished product.
Yeah.
And I can attest to this because we're singers ourselves, in the work, the hours and hours and hours and hours of work and fine tuning that you have to put into to make these performances, to Stephanie's point earlier, seem seamless.
Right.
And Sorella said, Sorella, I think, told us, Stephanie, earlier in the season, like, Stephanie and James, thank you for noticing what we're doing, because we work so hard and have been working so hard for so many years. We see the glamorous lives of singers, but you all, when singers aren't sleeping, they're in the studio.
That's right.
They're in the studio meticulously going through songs, like re-recording half lines of notes.
Yeah.
And that's why recordings come out so perfect, because are literally going through with a fine-tooth comb. So you have to understand the time, dedication, and effort that Sorella has put in to make this sound that sounds like no others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't blame it on the boogie.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Stephanie. So that's a very, very strong number 5. And I got to come out with someone that you had mentioned earlier, which was your number 6 from the previous episode. So that's going to be my Kate Martin alone for Heart as my number 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Kate, we already talked about it. Y'all, she doesn't miss. There was no pitch issues. It was an incredible performance, one of the best versions of Alone I've ever heard on any of these shows, and people have been singing it. Like I told Stephanie in an early episode, I said, I thought no one could come close to Carrie Underwood's infamous or famous, all those years ago on American Idol. This is what kind of won Carrie Underwood American Idol, by singing this song, and such a powerful version of this song. Well, I thought this was just as powerful of a version, if not better, because Carrie kind of stuck to it. Kate did her own thing, but still stayed true to the melody, still stayed true to the genre, but it was all 100% authentic Kate. And that's why she's in my top 5. I can't believe she's not higher on the list, which is insane, but I had to put her in my top 5 because that was phenomenal.
Yes, it was. Agreed.
All right, Stephanie. Number 4.
My number 4 is Ray Urel, Essence.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need another body. See, listen. Don't get me started, because Stephanie and I will go off, y'all. We'll start singing and dancing.
Listen. Okay. This song was magic.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was literal lightning in a bottle magic. This song has my whole 2000s R&B heart. It really does. The full arrangement of this song from top to bottom was stellar. I don't know that there was a better arranged song this
This,
whole playoff.
this round. Yeah.
Okay? I
Yeah.
don't believe that there
No,
was
no,
a
no, no.
better
I would agree with you. I
arranged
would agree with you.
song this entire playoff.
Well, maybe one, but I'll get there.
Top to bottom. Top to bottom.
No. Arguably, you are correct. From top to bottom, I'll
Top
give you that, Stephanie.
to bottom.
I'll give you that. Yep.
Musically, incredible. With the snaps and whatever that keyboard magic was going on in the back that just sounded like shimmers.
I was like, how can you break down? Like, who thought of this? How can you deconstruct a song like this?
Like, right? It was a bop and snap. It was a bop and snap. But here's what made it. Here's what made this song. Ray sang his literal you know what off.
Behind, yep.
Like, he was doing all the vocal things. All of them. Like, if you just stop and just listen to this man's vocal,
correct,
it was vocally stellar.
Yeah.
He killed it vocally in that beautiful 2000s R&B deliciousness of voice that he does. He was doing all the runs.
Yeah.
He ran almost every line, but it was so smooth. It was so smooth. But also his presence on the stage. Like, he commanded the stage. Like, he was so captivating in this.
Up until then, Ray really didn't have the strongest of presence.
No, but and it was really interesting, and it was a roll of the dice because it was literally him on the stage. Yeah. Really, like, there wasn't a lot of effects going on or anything. It was him and his voice and his mic, and you couldn't help but just watch him because of what he was doing vocally. It just felt like it had the same feel to me as Electric Feel did, in that it was surprising. It was surprising.
Because I was like, wow, that's hallowed ground.
Yeah, because I was not, like, as much as I loved Ray throughout this competition, it was the combination of this brilliant arrangement of music and the fact that he carried it vocally and was doing all the things, and it wasn't pressed, it wasn't forced. Mm-hmm. It was just him at his most comfortable singing this song, and it was lightning in a bottle for me. It was stellar, and as a lover of R&B music, I'm like, I need this. Somebody needs to release this. He needs to release this.
I knew when making my list that Ray was going to be in Stephanie's top 5 because Stephanie, like I said, Stephanie in the previous episode, Stephanie was the one that helped me to realize how good it was.
Yeah.
He said, no, James, close your eyes and just listen to what he's doing vocally and listen to this arrangement.
Please, everybody, really listen to this man's vocal. Really listen to this man's vocal. I will link it in the show notes.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Magic. Go ahead, Ray. Number 4. Number 4.
All right. My number 4 was Don't You Know I'm No Good For You. I just can't stand this song because it's so good. I like it is an emotional experience for both me and Stephanie, you all. This song
ain't got a lyric that says Jesus, but makes me want to worship.
Because we were like filthy rags. Oh, don't get me started. Anyway.
Wait, hold on, I done lost my headphone. Jesus.
Oh no, this guy has got to stay in, Stephanie. That's got to stay in. Stephanie lost her headphones, y'all.
I lost my headphone.
Woo! Riley Tate Wilson, y'all. Riley Tate Wilson. I know Stephanie has mentioned him before, but why? This was the performance, you all, that I could not get out of my head. This was a performance when, after going back and listening to it again, I just kept singing that line because Riley, it was a perfection entrance to this song, to this version that he was singing.
Mm-hmm.
I said it was a pubescent journey because Riley literally, I think, was probably experiencing puberty symptoms as a guy
right
during this filming because he's so young. And and handled it like the way Tevin Campbell handled Can We Talk, y'all. Like,
Come on.
seriously, like handled it like a champion.
Absolutely.
Like, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think. Again, we've heard many versions of this song. This was by far my favorite. The Stephanie mentioned this in the previous episode. The crack in his voice fit. It just fit. I was like, dude, did you even plan that? I know you didn't, but
right.
it was a perfect fit
Yeah.
to this performance. This performance was electric. It was mesmerizing. It was ridiculous that Riley Tate did not make it past the playoffs. In us talking to a lot of the previous contestants, you all, this past season, a lot of people, that was the one that they said shocked them the most.
Yeah.
Riley did not make it past the playoffs.
Yeah.
Riley did not, because they really thought after this performance, Riley was going to win the whole thing.
Right.
It was bananas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh. Oh, come on. All right. We've already talked about him. So, Stephanie, here we go. Drum roll, please, you all. This is where it gets serious. I'm looking right at you. Not Stephanie. I'm looking at our pitchies, because our top three ain't no joke.
No.
Okay? And when it's my time to talk, I'm going to tell you why my top three ain't no joke. Stephanie, number 3. Let's go.
My number 3 is Calibanum, My Funny Valentine.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Oh, you already told on yourself, friend. I have your top 3.
Do you now?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Okay. Well,
I absolutely do. Absolutely
you don't have my
do.
justification.
I don't have your justification and I don't have your order, but I have your top 3.
Oh, I know you do. I have your top 3 too. That's the thing. I have your
No,
top
you
3
don't.
Too.
I don't know if you do. Okay. I don't know if you do, but let me.
There was one shock. Allie, I thought was going to be in your top 3.
Yeah.
But that was my one shocker. But I think I might. But yeah. But let's go.
This performance was art, from the staging to her fit to her voice to the musical arrangement. This is the one performance where, and we commented on this in the original episode, that it felt like, and I think that the band was actually following her and allowing her to take the lead on this song, because that was just the design and the brilliance of this performance. Her vocal, y'all, was straight brilliant. Another queen of the nuances.
Yeah.
Kala has this amazing hush to her voice.
Yes.
But it's not weak, it's intentional. No. Because what you'll see when you listen to this, if you have not already, again, it will be linked in the show notes. That girlfriend has power in her throat as well. Oh,
and the hush is very articulate. Like,
yes.
A lot of time when people will have a hush to their voice, you lose some of the words, you lose the articulation of it all. But you can understand everything that she is saying.
Yes, she has an articulated hush in her voice.
I like that.
Come
on, teacher.
An articulated hush to her voice. Yeah.
Come on, teacher, teach, girl.
Come on. She has that really ethereal tone to her voice that is just so lovely. But what she did with dynamics in this song, there's one line in the song and it says, when you open it to speak. That's her vocal actually opened up to speak, and you kind of sat back like, whoa. And I was just like, you better emote, queen, and she looked she looked like a queen up on that stage. The outfit that she had on was just absolutely like
Royals. Remember that song?
Oh yes, that she looked like royalty. She really did. You said in the original episode when we talked about the song that it felt like a Bond song. It felt like an epic soundtrack single song, and that's how the whole performance felt. It felt epic. And again, when we talked about it, we talked about how it felt like, if you don't know the meaning of the song, it's not as sweet as it sounds. And there was a slight tinge of crazy that you could gather maybe behind the intention of how she was singing the lyrics and performing this song, that if you did not understand that this is not a love song per se, you might.
It's a cut. Like
it's a cut song. Yeah, it's kind of like a diss track. It's the most.
It's a diss.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love you for all your imperfections.
You basically. Yeah. It was
physical imperfections, right?
Exactly. So if you didn't understand that from just knowing the song previously, you could gather that from her performance and some of her melodic and vocal choices. It was art. It felt like art. Yeah. It was so impactful. It was so incredible. And it was stunning that somebody could stand up on a stage and do that. Like, that's what I felt like. I can't believe somebody is standing up on a stage and delivering the way that she is delivering. Incredible.
Wow. Number 3. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna guess who your number 1 is, but I can't. I'm drawing a blank for your number 2. All right, clue.
Oh, it's D Smooth Location. The mic fan of it all.
D Smooth Location, Callie.
I'll never get over it, James.
Oh my God.
I will never get over it.
Where Ray's arrangement was the strongest of this round, the start to finish arrangement of the song. To me, this was the start to finish vocal of the round. Because
Bingo.
Smooth, it's like, to me, it felt like D Smooth sang 3 different songs. Okay?
No, that's so spot on. That is so spot on.
3 different songs. Because there were so many tricks. It was like the Devix of this season. Mm-hmm. There were so many tricks that he pulled, and it was almost like he was saving them because D Smooth, this was the first time, y'all, we had seen D Smooth since the battle round. Yes. Because remember, D got the pass.
Yes. So
D knew he probably wasn't one of America's favorites necessarily. D knew what he had to do. He knew the assignment, Stephanie. He knew what he had
to do. Did he ever?
He knew he had to do something not just special. He had to do something monumentous.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm pulling out my big words today. But he had to do something monumentous.
Yes.
To make an impact and to move on as he did. This was a finalist, y'all.
Yeah.
This was, because I know Stephanie's going to talk about it soon. It was ridiculous. Ridiculous in every single way. Back to the 3 different songs. It was like 3 different singles, Stephanie.
Yeah.
3 different, like, award-winning singles this dude sang. Mm-hmm. And he had the nerve to steal from Ray's song a different location for each single, right? So you had the single of him coming down the little walkway with the walls.
Yes.
You had him on stage.
Yes.
And he had the snap.
Then the snap came.
When he sat down. And it was over. That's all he wrote.
That's right.
Okay? That's all they wrote.
That's right.
y'all gotta go back and watch this performance if you don't remember it. When D Smooth sat down,
it's over.
It was over, y'all.
Over.
Like TKO. 187. Murder, death, kill. It was done. Done. And I'm gonna let Stephanie talk to this one a little bit more in one of her next rounds, because I know D has to be in her top 2. But yeah, D Smooth number 3. Your location. Oh, okay. Stephanie number 2.
I will talk about it right now. D Smooth.
Oh, then I really have no clue who your number 1 is.
I know you don't.
All right.
D Smooth is my number 2 location. It was so funny, James, because I was like, wait, he actually changed location in location. Like I was tripping when I like realized that like he literally changed his location 3 times in the song. Brilliant. Again, the musical arrangement was everything. This song, his arrangement and his performance of this song has my whole 90s R&B styling heart.
Stephanie, how many times did you go back and listen to this one? Like originally. I'm talking about originally.
Oh, originally? I lost my mind. Like it was a problem. This song was a whole problem. This song was like, okay, I almost felt like I had to fast from it. Like, okay, you can't watch D Smooth today. Like, you can't watch this song today. You gotta wait till tomorrow. He totally recreated the song and made it his own with the vocal styling that he does. That is unlike anything that we have heard on this singing competition, and of what we have not heard in a very, very, very long time. I'm gonna take some time and talk about some things that were around this performance, and then I'll get back to D. Number 1, Niall Horan was all about this song. When y'all watch this performance, please pay attention to Niall, because if you're watching this on YouTube, this was Niall. And just like, and there were so many shots of him just looking like,
yeah.
And just like, and then when D does what he does at the end, he was just like, ah! Like Niall was all about this performance. It was like his awakening to like this 90s R&B styling. Like he was just all about it. I loved it. Them dog on with the, even from the start with the snap. And then them things had the nerve to say, time and place to come through.
We'll talk about that.
I was like, y'all better match his fly. Y'all better match his fly. I said in the original podcast that when I first saw this performance, I was on the verge of being disappointed, because in that middle section of the song where they're like, ride, that's when D is like all the energy and all the runs and all the things, and that was like the climax of the song. And there was like a good 30 seconds left of performance left. And I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? Because at that point, I thought that's where the snap was. I was like, there's still time left. How he gonna do 30 seconds of ad-lib at the end? He did 30 seconds of ad-lib, basically just saying time and a place.
It's over.
Time and a place. And the infamous Mike fan came out. What in the world? Over. It was over.
What call it?
I forget what he called it. That trickery, that Mike trickery that he did. What is that trickery? What? I'm like, nobody does this on these shows. The level of, and I always talk about this, and I forget whether it was this episode or the previous, the level of comfortability on the stage was just ridiculous. And again, this is the first time we had seen him since his duet with Allie. We hadn't seen him. So we knew that he was going to deliver, but to this degree, to this 30 seconds of just the musicians playing
Yeah.
Chords.
Yeah.
Just them playing chords and him just singing his literal behind off. Like,
and what I thought was so awesome, like if you watch Kelly during that, Kelly was like, huh, y'all think y'all got some singers? Watch this.
Right. Y'all wait. Y'all wait. Y'all wait.
She said, y'all got some singers? Oh, no. Y'all forgot about this. Don't sleep on D Smooth.
Don't sleep on D Smooth. And as we know, and as Kelly has confirmed, he doesn't sing anything the same twice. Mm-hmm. So all the many renditions of the song that they probably went through, like during the course of rehearsals and then this final product. The song in and of itself is a groove. It's a groove, but it just kind of stays in one place. The original, it's a very nice, just chill bop.
Radio.
It's a nice chill
lounge,
lounge or just driving down the road on a Sunday, just
your house and
music. It's like
background.
It's like R&B easily listening background, just something to have on. What he did with the I'll never get over it. I'll never get over it. I'm still shooketh.
Yeah. Wow.
But D is my number 2.
All right. So do you want to guess what my number 2 is?
It's Allie.
Yes, my number 2 is Allie, You're Never Alone by Tori Kelly and Kirk Franklin. And Allie, when I went back and, because I know Allie watches and listens to us, Allie, when I went back and listened to this performance, I got emotional. And I'm going to tell you why I got emotional. And I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Like you all know, Allie knows, everyone knows how much Stephanie and I reverence, like the reverence we have for the background vocals of this show.
Yes.
And what happened at the end, the humanity that happened at the end of Allie's performance got me really choked up to watch it again. I'd almost forgotten that they basically attacked Allie with hugs.
Yes, they did.
And the background vocals, if you watch this show over the years, they don't break, right? They know their lane, they stay in their lane. And this is the first time I saw like that fourth wall break.
Yeah.
Any artist. And that is a testament to Miss Allie, because
absolutely.
It was such a powerful, such a strong, Allie, I felt like you came out of your comfort zone in the performance part of it, because I know you are a singer, sister. You really are. We already know that you're a singer, and y'all have no clue how this woman is a singer, and a producer, and an arranger, and a songwriter. Y'all have no clue, but you're going to know soon. But I'm saying all this to say, Stephanie had mentioned it earlier, where Allie started, and it was like a very guitar Acapulco almost at the bottom of the stage with just her and the guitarist, and then her to get up, and then like Allie really worked the stage. But y'all got to go back and catch y'all. Tori Kelly is a master runner. She is a Jasmine Sullivan caliber, Lauryn Hill caliber runner with her voice. So for Allie to come in and really create new runs for a Tori Kelly song is not just a hard feat, not just a difficult, it is an impossible. It's not something that anyone should really take on.
Yeah.
Except for a singer of the caliber of Allie.
Yeah.
It was stupendous. It was a stupendous performance. It was, and it got me in my feelings, and that's why Allie had to be my number 2, if not number 1. She was my number 1 until one last performance bumped her out. That I hadn't listened to, that was saving for the end, because I hadn't listened to that performance. But I mean, obviously, you all probably know who my number 1 is. But Stephanie said it all before. This was the reason why she's my number 2 is it was truly special. It was a it was a moment. It was a moment, and to see the humanity of the background singers, literally all come from different directions and almost knock her over with their
Yeah.
because they know the brilliance that is Allie.
Yeah,
They know the
absolutely.
brilliance that is Allie and the work, the the tiring work that Allie has to put in because of what God has blessed her with. And I'm going to call it a
Absolutely.
blessing. It's not anything but a blessing.
Absolutely.
Allie's hearing is nothing but a blessing.
Yeah.
It's going to get her in front of royalty. It's going to get
Uh-oh.
her in front of the masses.
Come
If that's
on.
what she wants.
Come on.
That's what she wants because you know what? This is a young lady who has an incredible head on her shoulders at
Yes.
her young age, and she is ready, and she is, most importantly, she is humble, y'all. Just a
Absolutely.
humble woman. And Stephanie and I have a very strong feeling that Allie is going to stay humble
Absolutely.
because of her gifts, because of
Yes.
the gifts that she's been given.
Mm-hmm.
And just, oh gosh, I can go on and on, but I'll let you go. Who is okay? Oh,
I want you to say your
okay.
number one
Okay,
because
so then, yeah, so then, because
I know who your number one is.
Think off the top of my head. So yes, so Stephanie, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go right to my number one, which is Kala Banham, My Funny Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why Kala is my number one, and again, by just saying her name and the My Funny Valentine, I got a chill that just went down my spine. So it's a visceral feeling that I get over choosing her. Kala, and I said this in the earlier episode, Stephanie said it again, Kala took a standard and she turned it into a James Bond song. So if you think of the James Bond songs of just yesteryear and recent year, Adele, Skyfall, Billie Eilish had who had the latest James Bond song.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tina Turner had a James Bond song.
Mm-hmm.
Shirley Bassey from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Venga! Like all those, like Paul McCartney, Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Just all these monster artists. Colin needs to record the next Bond song. Like iconic Bond song. She really does.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard, and I've said this before on the original podcast, I've never heard a version of My Funny Valentine like this. And literally, I felt time stop.
Yeah.
Every time I've watched this performance, and this is one of the performances where I don't have to go back and watch it a million times.
Yeah.
Because I don't need time to, I'm too busy of a person. I don't have time for time to stop. I don't have time for time to stop. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
Because everything stops when Kala sings this. And when I feel like time stops, that's why you got to be my number one. Stephanie already talked to Kala. This was a perfect vocal, a perfect arrangement, and a perfect just everything about it was perfect. I have no critique. I have zero critique for this. Perfect start to finish. Caliban and My Funny Valentine. Rodgers and Hart from the original musical called Babes in Arms from like the 1940s, believe it or not, y'all. Yeah. And yeah, number one, Kala. Stephanie. Let's go.
Okay. My number one is Gina Miles. Wicked Game.
My glasses are off. Number one, you have an awesome poker face.
Oh, did you see how I reacted to her as your honorable mention?
Oh, that's true.
I do not have a good poker face.
I thought you were shocked because you were like, it was almost like, I felt like you were like, I almost forgot to put her in. Like you.
Oh.
But of course you had to put Gina in. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm shook it. Okay, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Talk to me, Stephanie. I got to hear this. Oh, I'm excited.
I was stunned when I saw this.
She stopped the show.
She stopped the show. I felt like in previous rounds of this competition that Gina had a really cool tone and a really cool texture to her voice.
Cool vibrato, yeah.
Cool vibrato, like this really cool mix of alternative and ethereal, like really just very interesting voice.
Right.
Her blind audition was good, but she was obviously nervous.
Right.
And even with her battle with, she was with Kala, correct? Yeah, I think she was with Kala.
She was.
Even with her battle, I felt like the two of them were kind of helping each other. I felt like Gina was supported, but I was interested to see how she would do in the following rounds being on her own, because it did not feel like she had that comfortability on the stage. This song was the another lightning in the bottle moment of an incredible song choice with the perfect vocal that could make this song into something completely different, completely original, completely new, completely current, and absolutely incredible. The staging, number one, that purple moon, when that purple moon rose up behind her, I was like, oh, what are we doing? Y'all setting the mood.
Right.
And then it was at the beginning, the keys and her vocal, which was a perfect beginning because her vocal was so kind of moody and creepy.
Right.
And just perfect. It was perfect. I've never in my life, and this is, I kind of was going back and forth, honestly, between having Kala or Gina as my number one. The reason why Gina won for me is because I have never in my life heard someone go in and out of yodel, go in and out of falsetto, go in and out of chest voice in a more compelling way. Correct. Never in my life. It was so seamless the way that she did that. When that percussion came into the second verse, game over. It just took the whole song to another level. And it even I felt like she even changed and got even more comfortable on the stage. I put in my notes, vocally, it was perfectly achy. The way that she was able to communicate this song was absolute brilliance.
Yeah.
And for me, that, and like you talked about in your honorable mention, that and because I didn't
it's still floating, Stephanie.
It's still floating. And I was so shocked because I didn't know, and you need it for this particular line. She has to have technique. You can't deliver a note like that and not understand breath support, because it just did not, like we said, it just did not go and then stop as if she was out of breath. That thing is still going because it trailed off into the sun. It trailed off into the moon backstage, and it's still orbiting the earth right now. That was so impressive. Between her compelling vocal, that yodel that goes the technique of her actual vocal going in and out of all the different techniques that she did in this one song, and the breath support. I was shocked. I was not expecting such an impactful, compelling vocal from her. And those judges were shocked too. Anytime Blake, that was coming out of my mouth. Whoa. He was like, whoa. And he stood up at the end of the performance. Like he stands up for his own contestants. Everybody was like, yo. And if you look at now was looking back and forth like, y'all didn't know.
Look,
y'all didn't know. This is yup. And he was like, the whole time he's looking like, this is the one that's going to win this whole competition for her.
And she did.
And it did. This was the one. I think it's my number one for all the reasons that I said, but also for the and I don't want to say shock, but the happy surprise of,
Right.
oh my goodness, I'm proud that she was actually able to show everything that she could do vocally, performance wise, and how she could deliver the song. And again, whoever picked this song with her, chef's kiss, you are brilliant, because it was perfection.
Because
Perfection.
and you, I'm still shocked at your choice for all the good reasons. I'm shocked because I didn't have her anything higher than an honorable mention, because it was brilliant. This was the one,
It was
and
brilliant.
everyone was like,
Yeah. Like,
"Oh,
ooh.
wow!"
Like,
Okay.
yeah, I think she was flying. I think we can safely say she was flying under the radar under this until this round, and then this round it was like, oh shoot, watch out for Gina, and again, she is our season 23 winner.
I love it. I love it. I love that you chose Gina. I would have never guessed you have chose Gina as your number one, but I totally see why you did. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it, you all. We did it. We did
it.
Woo!
Woo!
You all have no idea like how much of a load this is off my
Yes, it is.
shoulders. Like with just to let you all in a little background, with trying to figure out when we were going to record. Our summers are busy, like Stephanie always says. We are real people with real lives.
Yes.
And between vacations and work and kids and this and that, it's just been a crazy, crazy time. But I am so glad and had so much fun, Stephanie.
Yes.
This was my favorite round to talk about thus far.
Yes, absolutely.
Look back. So, Stephanie, tell everybody what they need to hear.
So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And check us out on YouTube. Please search for the Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. And last, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
All right, Stephanie, thank you so much. It has been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure.
Yes.
To run this list down with you. We'll see you soon, everyone.
Bye-bye.